In a forgotten village nestled among frosty hills lived Grandma Noor, an old woman whose back had bent with time, but whose spirit still stood tall. Her cane was carved from oak, polished smooth by years of use. It clicked gently against the cold stone floor of her tiny cottage as she walked. Her days were quiet, and her nights lonelier than she'd admit. She had no children, no husband left, only the whispers of memories and the company of three animals who loved her like family. There was Snowy, her soft white cat with a scar over one eye, rescued from a ditch during a storm. Snowy never left her side, curling up in her lap when her hands trembled or sitting by the door, as if guarding her from the ghosts of the past. Then came Shabo, the proud white dove. Noor had found her years ago, injured and shivering. After weeks of gentle care, the bird healed but never flew away. Every morning, Shabo fluttered to the windowsill, cooing softly until Grandma opened the curtain with a tired smile. Lastly, there was Tilu, the rooster. No ordinary bird, Tilu refused to leave the house during winters. He'd strut around inside like he owned the place, clucking sassily and warming Grandma's heart when nothing else could. Winter had arrived earlier than usual that year. Snow blanketed everything in silence. Noor's joints ached more and her breath grew shorter. But she smiled through the pain, whispering to her animals, "Don't worry, we've made it through worse." One evening, as wind howled like a beast outside, the power went out. The little heater died, and the cottage turned cold as ice. Grandma Noor wrapped herself in layers, hugging Snowy and letting Shabo rest on her shoulder. Tilu nestled near her feet, unusually quiet. As night deepened, Noor knew something was wrong inside her chest. Breathing felt heavy. She didn't panic. She'd always known her time would come like this, peaceful, quiet, surrounded by love. She looked at her companions and smiled. "You've all made this lonely life worth living," she whispered. In the early hours of dawn, the village doctor knocked on Noor's door. A concerned neighbor had called him. No one answered. When he opened the door, he found a sight so beautiful it brought tears to his eyes. Grandma Noor lay in her old chair by the window, snow glowing blue outside. Her cane leaned beside her. Snowy lay curled in her lap, Shabo on her shoulder, and Tilu quietly pressed against her feet. She had passed in her sleep, her face calm, almost smiling. The story of Grandma Noor and her three loyal animals spread through the village. She had lived poor but died rich, rich in love and loyalty. No one knew what to do with her animals, but they didn't leave. For days after her burial, Snowy stayed at her grave, meowing softly. Shabo circled above it, and Tilu refused to crow. Eventually, the villagers built a little wooden shelter beside her grave. Snowy slept there every night. Shabo visited every morning. Tilu stood guard, chasing away wild dogs and sitting silently as though listening for Grandma's voice in the wind. Years passed. A traveler once stopped by the grave and asked a child from the village, "Who are those animals?" "That's Grandma Noor's family," the child replied. "She raised them with love, and they never forgot." Some say on snowy nights, if you walk past the hill where she rests, you'll see a white cat staring into the stars, a dove perched on the cross, and a silent rooster guarding memories that never die.